All right, how many aspirin do you take? Do you take one? Do you take two? Do you take three? Do you take four?
Half a bottle.
It is time for Sports Frenzy, the weekend edition here.
Kick that empty tequila bottle out of the way.
Get some Pedialyte here on April the 22nd, 2023, along with the Conquistador Dave Hyde. I am the Maestro Kevin Crane, taping on April the 19th of 2023. Yes, we are your Friday night hangover cure here on Saturday morning.
And of course, as always, segment 1 devoted to rock and roll.
And this is a big one, kids, because we have not only got a review of the brand new Metallica album, 72 Seasons, but we have got huge breaking news when it comes to Extreme on tour, and the Foo Fighters are finally putting out new music over a year after the passing of Taylor Hawkins.
All right, let's dive right in, shall we? 72 Seasons by Metallica, 12 songs, an hour and 17 minutes of heavy metal glory.
Yeah, much anticipated album. We've already reviewed 4 songs off of this, the 4 that have been released.
Lux Eterna, the shortest at 3:25.
Yeah, I will say this right off the bat. We have talked a lot recently about albums that could have benefited from a little bit of judicious trimming.
There are a number of songs that would have benefited from judicious trimming.
Yeah, there are a lot of long songs on this album. I'm going to kind of look at it in a black and white type of way, where either you take the song as it is, or there's a song you just get rid of as wholesale completely.
Yeah.
So I will say this. I will say through the first 7 tracks, through Crown of Barbed Wire, this is an absolutely spectacular album.
Absolutely agree.
Now, of course, it is very long, as Dave alluded to. So once you hit Chasing Light at track 8, my interest started to wane a little bit. Now, track 9, If Darkness Had a Sun, we again reviewed already.
We've reviewed it.
One of the stronger initial singles.
Yeah. Blown away by other songs that have on the album overall.
Right. Well, let's point out the songs that you thought were standouts, and then I will compare and contrast.
All right. The 3 that stood out to me, of course, the title track, 72 Seasons, that we reviewed last week. Absolutely phenomenal.
Agreed.
Sleepwalk My Life Away, I really enjoyed.
Good. Not one of my top, but like I said, I would have kept it in that top 7.
Yep. And then I enjoyed Room of Mirrors near the end.
That's one where we're going to disagree a little bit.
Well, there you go. You can have that.
See, I would say...
And then Crown of Barbed Wire, I thoroughly enjoyed.
Very good. Very good song. Crown of Barbed Wire.
So there are my top 4.
Yeah, and if you guys... We're not going to give you the sequence, but basically, Crown of Barbed Wire is the 7th song where I would put that cutoff, where afterwards, to me, it kind of... The album weakens a little bit. I thought Shadows Follow, the 2nd track coming right after 72 Seasons.
That was really good.
I thought Shadows Follow was phenomenal.
Very enjoyable. It's definitely a good follow-up for 72 Seasons.
Yeah. See, so I would say the top two songs for me are the first 2 songs. Title track, Shadows Follow, and then probably 3 for me is Crown of Barbed Wire. I did like the closing track, Inamorata, although it's a little bit mellow.
Minutes.
It's a little mellow. See, that doesn't bother me.
See, to me, it started to bog down.
I would. I'm not trying to be antagonistic, but I would take it over Room of Mirrors. Too Far Gone didn't do much for me.
No.
You Must Burn was pretty good. I mean, we're not trying to go track by track, but we basically already have.
Yeah.
And
So our biggest complaint of late from bands that we've enjoyed throughout their career, they have mellowed and just have not rocked out like they had been. Metallica is the exception. This album, they are true to themselves.
yeah, and I think,
and this is getting back. They're accessible like Black, but you also have the hard-hitting stuff from earlier in their career.
yeah, and
It's a great mash of the two.
Yeah, I have seen that all over the place in the early reviews for this album, and I agree completely. Is that this is Metallica blending the best of both worlds? Now, again, I don't know if the old school Kill 'Em All fans will be completely happy. Little side note here, which I'm telling the Conquistador for the first time, which is going to blow him away, because he knows his niece, my daughter, what
The
she
anti-rock.
listens to, what she listens to. She, when I talked to her last week, said, "Oh, the new Metallica's out. I got to listen to that."
I will be intrigued to see her take on it. Or is she doing it because it's the hip, cool thing to listen to?
She got into, now for you and me, because we listen to the studio records, we want the new stuff, we will break down the new stuff. We don't listen to, again, this is a rule that we've put in at Sports Frenzy. We don't listen to greatest hits. We try not to listen to cover albums. We'll review a cover song once in a while. Metallica put out that, I don't know, air quotes, tribute album where everybody did cover songs of all the songs on the Black album.
Yeah.
She listened to that and she liked that a lot.
But that's not true Metallica.
That's the thing, is that she starts listening to this.
It's going to...
She's going to have an aneurysm.
Yeah, that's what I was going to allude. She's going to blow a blood vessel in her brain. Her ears will bleed.
She was telling, well, Darius Rucker did one of the songs and it was wonderful.
No. Darius Rucker is great, but no, Darius Rucker cannot do justice to Metallica.
But again, I never got into the old Metallica until much later on. The first exposure I really had to them was Master of Puppets. And then from there forward is where I listened to them.
Yeah, see,
and then
now,
later on I went back and listened to Ride the Lightning and Kill 'Em All.
Yeah, see, now that was what I hid in hanging out with my buddies in high school who were the skater crew. So it was Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, and Justice for All.
Right, which that came after Master of Puppets, obviously. But again, you make a really good point. It's a nice melding of the quote-unquote old school Metallica and the more accessible Metallica. But I think when they went through all that crap with Saint Anger and the reception they got from that, and Jason Newsted was leaving.
Yeah.
Once they did Death Magnetic, I don't think we've heard a lot of different stuff from Metallica when you go through Death Magnetic, Hardwired to Self-Destruct, and now this. And I'm not trying to dismiss any of them. They all have their highlights. They all have their moments where you just go, that sounds like generic Metallica. Now, again, I found 72 Seasons to be very enjoyable. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to bash it. I sound like I'm bashing it. I will give it a very, very, very strong 3. Bordering on 3.5. I can't quite pull the trigger on 3.5, but it's a very, very strong 3 frenzies for me.
I went 3.5.
Okay. Yeah, again, a
I
little
did
bit of that
go
stuff
there.
at the end just didn't do it for me. Chasing Light, I think Room of Mirrors is the one that really, you liked it, I didn't, and that might be the difference.
Well, there you go. All right. Very
But
strong
still,
reviews. This is definitely worthwhile.
yes, solid effort from Metallica. Now, and one last thing, I did not. We've had what, a week, if that, to listen to this.
Yeah.
Not even. I did not delve into the whole higher concept
I did not have time to try and go there.
with the lyrics and trying to read about into the whole theme of the first 18 years of life impacting the rest
Maybe
of
I'll
one's
get
life.
to that deep dive at some point. I listened to it to enjoy the music for what it was.
Right. All right. Speaking of which, should we do negative or positive in our 2 song reviews of the week? What do you want to do first, Dave? I'll leave it to you.
We might as well end on a more positive note.
So go with the negative first.
Yes.
The band that we just saw in
God.
concert last year, trying to figure out what the hell happened to Greta Van Fleet.
They got overproduced and destroyed by the music industry. This great rising new rock band,
The saviors of rock and roll, supposedly.
whose first album, Thank You,
From the Fires was
From the
unbelievable.
Fires was great. And then the producers got a hold of them and took them down the road to shit.
Now, this is not your fault, so don't take it that way. I would refer to From the Fires as an album. It is not considered their first album. That's considered an EP.
It's an EP, but whatever. Anyway,
it's an album.
It is.
Because I would say technically they've got 3 albums out, counting, was it Starcatcher, the new one that's coming out?
Yeah.
Well, the first 2 albums weren't all that good if you want to compare them to the EP.
Yeah, the EP is who I think they are and should be. And the rest is, what the hell did you do to these guys?
I'm telling you, I'm not wavering from the very first listen of, we're talking about the new Greta Van Fleet song, Meeting the Master, from the upcoming album, Starcatcher. It's Starcatcher,
yeah,
right?
It's Starcatcher.
Okay. It sounds like Yes to me.
To me, it sounded like a wussified version of a Rush knockoff band.
I could see that too. But the lead singer just sounds like John Anderson to me.
It sounded like he was trying to almost be Geddy Lee to me. And the execution on this is awful. The vocals are screechy. It's just not good.
Every time I listen to them now, the more recent releases from Greta Van Fleet, what pops up in my head, because defense mechanism, my rock and roll defense mechanism pops up in my head, and I hear that guitar riff from Safari Song, which I just love beyond all belief. And I'm like, how is this the same band?
Yeah. It's so awful. It's so bad.
I want to give it a good rating because I remember who they were.
But that's not who they are now.
And you see the pictures, the publicity stills as they're promoting this upcoming album, and they don't look the same.
No.
You watch the video on YouTube, again, of the Safari Song, 4 rocking out kids looking like they are the future of rock and roll. They look cool, and now they're
wearing frickin' sequin or lame jumpsuits with the tight perms. They look like they should be headlining a frickin' drag show.
They look like they're a cross between Prince and Twisted Sister.
And not in a good way.
No. I can only give it 1.5 frenzies.
I'm not even going that high. I flirted with giving it a 0.5.
Half a frenzy.
Half a frenzy, but I might be kind and give them a 1 for the effort.
Yeah, it's just
but
it's not the same band.
No, it's just god awful.
All right, so let's move on. I have been touting this song, so I was reluctant to hear Dave's
And you
review
should
of
be
this.
reluctant.
Oh no! Winger, second release off of the upcoming
we
album.
should not
7.
have listened to it in the same week as Greta Van Fleet. Because there are too many damn similarities with some of the vocals and the music.
Oh, bullshit. I could not agree with you less. I love It All Comes Back Around.
I will give it 2.5. Being generous.
No,
I did not like this at all.
I go 3.5. Easy 3.5 frenzy.
You're stoned out of your mind on this one.
Listen, Stuart. This is a over 7 minute. This is Winger's epic. This is their epic.
And they missed to me.
No, they did not miss. It's a Red Beach's guitar solo is killer in this. Killer. This is what I want out of my bands when I want them to try to be ambitious, when I want them to try to put out something a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's not all the way out there crazy, like Greta Van Fleet. It's not all the way out there crazy.
This did not
You
hit
have
it for
become
me.
Anti-Winger. All of a sudden, you have become
this
anti-Winger.
Song did not do it for me in any way, shape,
You didn't want to go
form.
see them in concert. Now you're bashing one of their greatest songs of all time.
You are stoned out of your frickin' mind if you think it's one of their greatest of all time.
I do.
We are going to completely disagree.
I think you need, again, get away from Greta Van Fleet. Step away. It's tainting your views.
It sounded too
when the album comes
similar.
out and we review 7, we'll revisit this.
Don't count on me having much different opinion on it.
Oh my God. Okay. This is what makes it fun. We got to dissent.
Oh my
We've got to disagree once in a while.
No.
Then why even giving it 2.5?
Because it's Winger.
See, now you're acting like you like Winger. If you hate it, give it a bad review. I'm just telling you, I didn't hate it.
There you go.
Oh, we're going to have fun later on. I got another one for you. Not in music, but we're going to have a little discussion about something later on where I think we're going to have a complete and total disagreement. Not in this episode. It's a precursor for the future.
There you go.
All right, so definitely recommend Metallica. I definitely recommend Winger, second single. It All Comes Back Around, and we both definitely tell you, stay away from the brand new version, whatever this is, of Greta Van Fleet. Meeting the Masturbate.
Maybe
But
that knockoff concert t-shirt we got may not remain in my possession for long.
No, it should. You know why? Because remember, Rival Sons is on there.
That's the one highlight on there.
That was the one redeeming factor of that whole show is we discovered Rival Sons.
Yeah.
And that's coming out here in June. But we've been hyping it up. We hyped it on the sports edition. Huge rock and roll news dropped today as we tape on April the 19th. First up, you guys know we are geeked up about Extreme and the new album coming. We have reviewed Rise. Now, you agree with me that's a great song.
Oh, Rise is fan-freaking-tastic.
Right. Well, we are going to have 2 new Extreme songs to review next week. Banshee and #Rebel. Extreme, of course, can't do anything like everybody else because they're so goddamn creative and awesome. So they released not one but two new songs and videos today as they announce their tour with Living Color.
Boom! Yes!
And you know damn well, damn Skippy, where the Conquistador and the Maestro and Mrs. C are going to be. We're actually going to be going to Gary, Indiana. Put on your Kevlar vest.
Going to the Hard Rock Casino.
But we'll do it for this double bill. Hell yeah! Are you kidding me?
Extreme is a bucket list band for you and Mrs. C, never having had the opportunity to see them.
No. I can't wait.
I have been fortunate enough on the Porno Graffiti tour to have seen them. Second time, looking forward to it.
Yep. And this will be my third for Living Color.
Second for them.
Still never have seen them as a headliner, though.
I know. But alas.
I'll take what I can get.
Take what we can get.
Another bucket list band off my list.
This is the summer of bucket list bands.
Got Megadeth off the bucket list. Offspring off the bucket list. It's all good. But that's not it, kids.
Oh, but wait, there's more.
You knew you couldn't keep Dave Grohl down for long, even though he rightfully had to have time to mourn the passing of his compadre, his friend, the great Taylor Hawkins. But he's not that type of guy. He cannot stand still for too long, even grieving, even mourning. So the Foo Fighters are back. The Foo Fighters will release their new album. But here we are on June the 2nd. They have released some tour dates. Not a full-fledged cross-country mega tour.
No, they're weaning themselves back on the road.
We still don't know for sure who will play drums on tour. We've heard rumors. Don't know if those rumors are true or not.
We'll wait for confirmation before we say anything.
But next week, the first new song from the Foo Fighters in quite a while, the first single off, but here we are, is Rescued. So we will have that for you. 3 unbelievable new songs. And we will not forget doing an album.
That's right. LA Guns. We've reviewed a couple songs off of their upcoming album, Black Diamond. Will be out. We will let you know what it's all about.
Yeah. Now, maybe there'll be some more dissent next week when it comes to the music.
There could be. One never knows.
Oh, Dave, just remember, it all comes back around.
Barf. Oh, God.
All right, kids, that's going to do it for segment 1.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Now, we're going to discuss the trials and tribulations to a point. I don't want to give Dave too much of a hard time, but he has had some issues here with losing streaming services. So some of the stuff...
don't discount my concert review.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
The first tribute band I've ever gone to see, Face to Face, a tribute to Billy Joel and Elton John, 2 piano players together. It actually wasn't bad. They did a nice job. The band was really good behind them. Great saxophone player. It was a major sing-along with the crowd. It was just a fun thing to go to.
I wouldn't spend 10 cents on a tribute band.
My buddy got them for free through VetTix. So
I know. And I know, very generous. I get it. I get it.
It wasn't horrible. So there you go.
But you still had to drive over an hour to get to the show. You got that to factor into cost.
Yeah, but I've also scoped out the new venue that we may be going
the
to.
Clyde. The
So,
Clyde in Fort Wayne.
Yep.
Yes.
So there you go.
I didn't mean to discount your concert. I'm sorry. Just not a tribute band guy.
There you go.
And ironically, after I heard you guys were going, the next day, I think it was, I can't remember the venue where it popped up, but there was a Van Halen tribute band. And I was like, if I had to go to one, that would be the one that I would go to.
As we were leaving, they were giving out free tickets to go see the Four Horsemen, the Metallica tribute band. So we are not going.
Free tickets, though?
Doesn't matter. Yeah, like we were going to go see Henry Lee Summer for free at the 8 Second Saloon because every year they give them out for free as we leave Jackal.
Every year when we're leaving Jackal, we get free tickets to Henry Lee Summer.
Not gonna do it.
Oh, good old Henry Lee Summer. An Indiana legend.
In his own mind.
In his own mind. Very, very well said. All right. So now we will break. We're going to have a very probably disjointed,
one-sided. Yeah, streaming has been very, very unkind to me because we cut ties with our internet service provider and went with fiber optic. Very happy with it so far, but we lost access to Peacock and it canceled our HBO Max subscription. Grr.
So I will be talking in very vague terms about Cocaine Bear in the next segment, along with the second half of season 4 of Titans.
We will be delayed. Mrs. C tonight was re-upping our HBO Max. So hopefully I will be caught up.
Could you try?
Shut up, Siri.
Yeah, so segment 2, what we're going to do, segment 2, we're just going to have a whole mismatch. We're going to have movies, TV, streaming. As Dave said, I'll probably end up leading most of it in a very vague way. But this is going to be another winger moment. I will tell you about it when we come back because there will be dissent. I guarantee it. I'm looking into my crystal ball into the future. But I'm going to tell you, knowing what I know, there is going to be major dissent in the future on Sports Frenzy. Now, I'm not being vindictive about Winger. I already figured this before I heard his callous and ridiculous review.
I didn't know you became that old
around
bogey who suddenly lost his will to rock.
The intensity of that song is unbelievable. It's ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Because you have no pulse.
I was going to say you have no pulse if you rely on that.
Subtlety just goes over that head. Probably slides right over that bald dome of yours. Oh, wait till we get... Just wait, kids. It's going to get better.
It's going to be fun.
All right. Segment 2 coming up after a quick promo break. The Conquistador and I will
go take your memory stuff.
We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Harrison Ford. And when I'm not listening to Sports Frenzy on Spotify, Google, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Apple, Overcast, Castbox, Stitcher, Amazon, and Audible, I'm out promoting my latest movie, even though I'm in my 80s. Right now, I'm working on my next Indiana Jones adventure. Indiana Jones and the Adult Diaper of Danger. So grab your Metamucil, your popcorn, and head out to the movies. Hey, did I hear Short Round won an Oscar? I don't have one of those. Son of a bitch. How did that happen? No time for love, Dr. Jones, my ass.
Weekend edition of Sports Frenzy 2.0. Ha! Hope that headache got you there to wake up a little bit. I'm the Conquistador, Dave Height.
Along with the maestro, Kevin Crane.
And here we are recording April 19th, 2023, dropping Saturday morning, the 22nd on Spotify, Google, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Amazon, Audible, Apple, Overcast, Castbox, and Stitcher! It's time for movies.
Yes, now, if you listen to the end of the last segment, we described Dave's tale of woe. So he cannot
Curses.
We have a plan every week. We try to set up the music, the movies, the TV shows we're going to watch. Dave has had a hiccup, which is fine. I've had them in the past.
Yep, technical glitches happen when you switch internet providers and lose access to services.
The certain apps that we need. So I am going to give you my review of a certain movie. I will try to be as vague as possible, not to spoil it, but Cocaine Bear on Peacock.
That I know because Connor, my oldest, has seen it. He went to the theaters with his buddy.
So Nick hasn't seen it.
Nick hasn't seen it. Nick did not want to see it.
Okay. My daughter saw it.
Really?
Yes. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Again, Metallica, Cocaine Bear. This is my
Cassidy.
daughter. Yes, my
Your daughter, my niece.
Yes.
The one who's out in
maybe
left,
there's
out in
hope
left
for her
field.
Yet. Well, let's hold off on that because going in to see Cocaine Bear, I heard nothing but positives. Nothing but reviews. Oh, it's fun. It's crazy. It's wild. It's kooky. It's great. I will tell you this much. I thought it was one of the worst movies I have seen in a long time. It wasn't as bad as Smile on Paramount Plus, which that movie made over $100 million at the box office, and I still can't figure out how or why. This movie is so overrated. The screenplay is terrible. Terrible.
Yeah.
There is. I won't spoil the plot for you, but I got.
Oh, I know. I know the basic.
Well, yeah, everybody knows the plot. Bear starts killing people because it finds cocaine dumped from a plane.
Which the whole premise behind this movie is stupid because the bear did the coke, ran 20 yards, and collapsed from the heart attack because it ingested so much.
Right. This is like what if the bear hadn't died and went on a rampage and was able... I mean, it's awful. I'm sorry. It is awful. There is a kid in this whose job must be the director, Elizabeth Banks, who I don't like anyway, must have said, you just say these lines with all the gusto and the verve you can. Yeah, you know Ray Liotta's in it, right?
Right. His final film.
Yeah, at one point Ray Liotta's got a rifle. Steps out from the shadows with the rifle. Again, not really spoiling anything.
It's in the previews.
The kid, they focus on the kid, and he goes, "Hey, he's got a gun!" No shit, Sherlock. We all just saw it when the director panned over to Ray Liotta carrying a rifle.
Really?
And he does that. He does that 2 or 3 other times, where he states the freaking obvious to us, the audience watching the movie. And I can't stand that.
I hate that type of thing.
And Kerry Russell's in it, who I normally love when she was in The Americans. She's terrible in this movie. I mean, terrible. Ray Liotta's not much better.
I think they were all told to be awful. That had to be the whole thing. Trying to make a movie so bad. To me, it looks like a movie they were trying to make so bad they hoped that it would be good.
Well, it made over $60 million, so There are a lot of people out there who liked it, and we've already talked about our kids liked it.
Yeah, they did.
See, now, Nick
Nick,
outside of
maybe
you, of course, Nick would be my litmus test if he had seen it.
Yeah,
I would
he
like
wants
to know,
nothing
and I'm
to
not
do
trying
with
to
it.
rip on Connor, but I know how Nick is. He's inherited, we've talked about this, your knowledge of movies. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, I had no hope for it.
But I'm telling you, every person I know, not just the kids, but other people I know who have seen this think it's hysterical and funny and cool and
the
awesome.
afternoon show, the late afternoon show on the Score, the guys loved it.
It sucks balls! It sucks balls!
I'm glad I did not subject myself to it.
Well,
and I eventually
I would
will.
want you to see
I eventually
it to
will
get your opinion on it.
I eventually will subject
maybe
myself.
Maybe this will be opposite of the Winger story.
And see if maybe I can make it halfway through.
There are like two moments, two scenes where I was like mildly amused or interested in over an hour and a half.
It's not good.
No. And it's not funny at all. You know, when I say amused, it was like creative violence type stuff. Let's put it this way.
There we go.
If you listen to my review of Terrifier 2 last week and how dirty and awful that made me feel, that movie was a lot better than this.
Alrighty,
At least it accomplished its goals and didn't insult my intelligence like Cocaine Bear did. I give Cocaine Bear a weak 1.5 frenzies.
Wow, you're going that high.
Like I said, there were a couple scenes that were mildly interesting, couple moments.
All right.
And I have to admit, it does have a fairly impressive cast, too.
See, that's the thing that's disappointing, is it's got a really good cast.
There's a great cameo right at the beginning. I don't want to spoil for you.
All right.
An absolutely great cameo right at the beginning, which you'll love. Again, one of those moments where I was like, oh, this could really be cool. And it all goes downhill from there. I'm sorry, this is crap. And I am sorry. The people out there who watch this movie and tell everybody this movie is great, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Ashamed of yourself. Go watch Grizzly from back in the 70s. That was a good movie about a killer bear.
Yes, it was.
This is garbage. Garbage. All right, we're going to move on to TV and streaming. Like I said, a little bit of free form here. And again, Dave had the streaming issues.
Technical glitches kept me from frickin' enjoying Titans Part 2 of the final season.
Yep, Season 4, Part 2, Episodes 7 and 8 aired last Thursday. Again, I am not going to spoil. I did watch them. And I will say this as a teaser, and that's all I'll say. Still good. Brenton Thwaites is just so cool as Nightwing. And he has a great fight scene in episode 8, which just one of the best I've seen outside of John Wick chapter 4 in a long time. But I will just leave you with this. The combo of episodes 7 and 8 is a combination, to me, of Field of Dreams and WandaVision. Of course, you didn't see WandaVision, but that's what these two episodes are. You have to watch them.
Okay.
You're going to have to get your HBO Max back.
We're working on it. And then late in the week, actually, it was as we record on the 19th. It was the evening of the 18th where I finally got both boys together to be able to watch them. And
it crapped out on you.
And we were not able to, because I was going to follow that up with Perry Mason, and I got hosed.
Now, I did not completely watch episode 7 of season 2, which was this past Monday. I watched part of it, and it promises to actually be a really solid episode from what I saw. It doesn't look like it's going to be focused on Della's lesbian adventures. It focuses more on, if you've watched this, and Dave has watched through episode 6, so this is not a spoiler for him. It focuses on what is going to happen next between the relationship of Perry Mason and his former investigator before Paul Drake, Pete Strickland.
Yeah.
Who I find to be a very interesting character. Well acted, well done.
Very, very intriguing character.
In season 2, he's now working for the DA's office.
Yep. And there's betrayal and repercussions that are going to come up. I'm anticipating.
And all I will say, again, didn't watch the full episode, but episode 7 is one of those episodes, and this can work well or this can backfire, but I find it to be a cool mechanism. It's been overused to a certain extent. Episode 7 starts off with the end, the repercussions, and then it does the whole one day earlier thing to show you how they got to that point. And it works. I mean, to me, it looks like it's going to work.
Some storylines where it's a perfect venue to get there, and others, why?
Yeah. So, yeah, at least it looks like, again, it's not going to be about Della, 69ing every woman she sees in the street. Thank God for that.
And there you go.
Now you have caught up on Gotham Knights and surpassed me.
Yes, I have gotten through 4 of the Gotham Knights. Did not get through last week's, and I know we got one coming up this week as we record, so I'll be 2 behind when this hits. Very, very impressed with this so far.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
The storyline is great. The interaction of the kids, older teens, very good. The way from the different backgrounds coming together, trying to work together. And the damn Court of Owls.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's so far very well done. Like I said, you've kind of passed me. I haven't been able to watch it over the last couple episodes, but I do want to catch up.
Yeah.
I'm not giving up on this by any stretch.
No, this for being a CW show, this harkens back to old CW.
The first 4 or 5 seasons of Arrow, the first couple seasons of Flash.
Yep.
The
good stuff from Supernatural, where it's just a solid story writing, solid acting.
Yep.
Yeah. Very enjoyable. They haven't gone off the rails yet.
And you also passed me on Lucky Hank.
Yep. We've gotten 2 episodes.
Yeah, I didn't get through the second one yet.
So, and of course, Nick is already caught up.
Yes, Nick, Dave's youngest.
My youngest.
Was
huge Odenkirk fan.
Obsessed with Better Call Saul.
Yeah. So Nick absolutely loves Odenkirk as an actor.
So he did watch it.
He has seen it.
Okay.
He's all fully caught up. When I told him we watched 2, you got to watch it. You will enjoy it.
I told you. That first scene in the first episode, I told you was a killer. I mean.
Yep. Brilliant.
Do you really want me to talk? Do you really want me to talk?
No. All right. Boom. And surprisingly, my mom enjoyed it.
Why wouldn't she enjoy it?
It's
not over the top.
No, but you never know with what she's going to like. I mean, come on.
It is snarky. That's a good way to describe it. It's snarky.
Very snarky.
Yes. Now I have partaken of beef, not the food. The show on Netflix. I watched about the first half hour of the first episode. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. It, of course, stars Stephen Yeun from The Walking Dead. He was played Glenn in The Walking Dead. It all revolves around a road rage incident.
Yeah, how do you put a full series on that? This is more of a movie concept to me. Wrap it up in an hour and a half film.
Well, we'll see. I might give it a little bit more. The first half hour wasn't bad, but I could see where you're coming from. I don't know how they're going to stretch this out to make it interesting over multiple episodes, but we'll see. I've been fooled before.
It's probably going to delve into the whole psychological thing. Oh, if I do this, oh, woe is me.
Maybe they end up falling in love. Wow. But, like Pete Townsend said, I won't get fooled again.
That's right.
Yeah, still holding off. I don't know what to do with The Night Agent, so that's another one that's kind of hanging out there.
That's
What's
one I'll
coming?
eventually. I will get to it.
The Ken doll. Yeah, the Ken doll fighting for world peace and justice. Whatever.
And the American way.
Coming up soon.
Whatever the hell that means anymore.
Yeah. Don't ask our president. He'll probably go on a rambling 5-minute speech about his grandfather fighting the aliens in Normandy. And he said E.T. phoned home, and then Hitler showed up, and Eva Braun killed E.T., and then the Terminator killed them all. That was 1942, and I was just a 25-year-old boy back then. God damn it, we're not going to raise taxes on anybody who's making over $45,000 a year. Now, Amazon Citadel looks interesting. That's starting up in a couple weeks. That is the one by the Russos.
Right.
Of course, the Russos, well known for the Avengers movies, Extraction. Right, they were the ones that did Extraction, right?
Yes. Yeah, and we've got Extraction 2 coming out in
this
June.
Summer. And of course, this stars one of the Jonas brothers, the wife, who's got like these abnormally huge lips, and all you can think of is one thing.
Hey!
That's why we're explicit. But I guess the advance buzz is so positive that even before season 1 has aired on Amazon Prime, they're already going ahead with season 2.
Which will air in 3 or 4 years.
That's how it works with streaming. How about you get Jack Reacher season 2 out already, will ya? Jesus God.
For the love of all that's holy. The streaming is ridiculous in how long it takes to get anything done.
What, because Alan Rickson is in the new Fast and the Furious movie? That interfered with filming?
Bull crap.
Reacher takes precedence. Sad news from Netflix. Just nostalgic sad news. Bear with me here. Of course, I'm old school. I'm a grumpy old man. That's what I am.
Yes, I know.
I remember the old days when Netflix meant you were getting a DVD in the mail. They are officially, in September and October, ending the DVD by mail.
They were still doing that?
Shut up, Dave! Some of us loved that. Some of us thought that was awesome.
Never took part in the service.
Of course you didn't. Of course you didn't. Because you work at the library where you could get anything you wanted.
Did not watch a lot over the last 10 years.
Now, of course, to offset this, they are going to start charging. We knew this was coming.
They're going to charge more.
No, they're not charging more for like those of us who have the service already. They're going to start charging more for sharing your password.
Good luck enforcing that.
So even though some of these services are still letting you have 2 concurrent streams, 3, sometimes 4, Netflix is saying, bye-bye. Nope. You share your password and we catch you.
How are they going to catch you?
Well, they can tell the location.
What if you're on vacation traveling?
They said they'll send you a special code in your email.
What if you're at a friend's house?
That's good for 7 days. Nope. That you won't be able to do.
Absolute crap.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm kind of digging their new with ad services. Of course, Dave, his household,
grandfathered in.
No, you're too good for, you've got to have all these services without ads. I am down with the ad services. I save money. Doesn't bother me to see 2 or 3 ads in a TV show.
I deal with the ads through Peacock. I deal with the ads on the borrowed Paramount Plus.
Oh, by the way, something else we have to review next week. Season 2 of the new Beavis and Butthead hits.
Ooh, I forgot about
tomorrow
Beavis
as we tape. Tomorrow as we tape. It's already out there for you kids nursing your hangovers on Saturday morning, the 22nd. But
God, I
Thursday, April the 20th.
Season 1. How many episodes are in season 1?
10 or 12. Did you watch the movie?
The new one?
Yeah.
No.
You gotta watch that too. Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe.
Well, shit. I gotta get through
the movie and 10 or 12
Yeah, but
episodes.
I gotta finish off Inside Job first. On Netflix. The animated Cognito running the shadow government.
How is it compared to Agent Elvis? That tells me
just a step below.
Let's see, you
just
hesitated.
A step below.
You hesitated. That tells me all I need to know.
Just a step below. It's great because I watched 2 episodes while on the elliptical last night. One of them had Keanu Reeves, and like, holy cow, your mom's dating Keanu Reeves, the star of John Wick 2 and 3. And Keanu goes, and John Wick 4. But unfortunately, this is part 2 of season 1, and stupid Netflix canceled it, but I'm going to write it out. Left or right all over again.
The ultimate terrier's dilemma.
Yep.
Which Dave and I will never get over. Ever.
Screw
Shame
you,
on you, FX. All right, wrapping up segment 2. Kind of off the beaten path here, but I think we mentioned this way back when it was announced. But we're not into Broadway. We're not into theater. But
every once in a while, something may pop.
You gotta give props to Phantom of the Opera.
God,
it did finally end its run on Broadway on April the 16th after
75 years.
13,981 shows. So kudos to everybody who's played.
They couldn't hit 14.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Now you're going to bag on Phantom of the Opera like you bagged on Winger?
I'm just asking. They couldn't go for an even number.
And I'm considered the grumpy one of us? I'm the get off my lawn guy?
I'm just asking.
All right, kids, stay tuned.
What if next summer I decided I wanted to go see it?
You had 13,981 chances. What's next? Are you going to be the guy why can't they bring Gone with the Wind back into the theaters? I haven't seen it on the big screen.
I don't think I've ever seen it, period. Nor would I want to.
They probably have disclaimers in front of it.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
This movie
will
trigger you because it depicts pictures of slavery and not the way that snowflakes should behave. God, I hate snowflakes. Jesus. I'm beginning to think my daughter, she's coming out of it. Metallica, the Cocaine Bear thing, but
based on Metallica tribute album.
Yeah, I know. There's no way she's gonna put the first song on and within 10 seconds rip her headphones off and go, Jesus Christ, what was that? Where's Darius Rucker? I thought he was the lead singer of Metallica.
Yeah.
I thought it was Metallica and the Blowfish. What the hell?
This isn't Elevator Metallica.
And I love, Dave said it, we love Darius Rucker and Hootie and the Blowfish, but it's just apples and oranges, man. It is apples and oranges.
Yeah.
All right.
That tribute album is Elevator Metallica.
Most tribute albums, they just very rarely
do
they work.
One. Yeah.
Maybe once or twice. I remember Encomium, that was the tribute album to Led Zeppelin, and that had Stone Temple Pilots, and that had Hootie on it. That was pretty good, but for the most part, they're just money grabbing
work
projects. They're crap.
Yeah.
All right, you know what's coming in the third segment? Doesn't matter if it's a sports edition or the weekend edition. It is time to play When We Have Enough. And Hollywood has given us enough this week. Dumbass or not.
And it's going to be one raucous episode.
So hang out for a little bit longer through one quick promo break with Dave and I. Final segment coming up, kids. Are you tired of getting body slammed by the mainstream sports media? Are you sick of their lame trash talk? Check out Sports Frenzy 2.0 with a tag team of the Maestro and the Conquistador. Pile drive those jackasses into submission. Available on all major podcast hosts, including Spotify, Anchor, Google, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Breaker, Apple, Overcast, and CastBox. Kev Dave slap a figure 4 on all the major sports networks who lie, kiss ass, and refuse to take names. New episodes drop every Thursday with new weekend edition episodes every Saturday. And that's the bottom line, because Sports Frenzy said so. All right, kids. Final segment here on the weekend edition. Hope you are getting over your overindulgent alcohol imbibing from last night, as this hits on Saturday morning, April the 22nd. He's a conquistador, Dave Height.
He's the maestro, Kevin Crane.
Moments of silence. One this week. Of course, you guys know, occasionally we delve into the world of books. Because, yes, we are not just a couple of pretty faces. You can't tell on a podcast, but we are.
Some would say we have faces for podcasts.
But we do read, and we know authors, and we know things about the world of literature.
Yep.
And very, very famous author, Anne Perry, passed away.
Yep. Very prolific crime author and convicted murderer. Anne Perry. When she was a youth, she and her best friend killed her best friend's mom. And she served time, and they were paroled on the condition they never saw each other or spoke to each other again.
Look at that. I am impressed.
Backstory for you.
I am impressed with the conquistador.
Names were changed for both of them. So there you go.
All I could think of is Misguided Ute. All right, so to wrap up the weekend edition, we've got enough. We're going to play America's favorite game show. The conquistador, Dave Height, will tell us whether what I have got set up here, whether these 4 entrants, participants, are dumbasses or not.
The sports segment this week, you went 7-0.
Yep. So again, my goal is to go undefeated. If I get one that Dave does not think is a dumbass, I have failed. Red Foreman would want to put his foot up my ass.
Twice.
So, this one is... I have to describe this one. First off, give me a little bit of a leeway here, okay?
God, it scares me when he has to explain things.
I think once I get through it, we've got plenty of time. Once I get through it, you'll understand. Okay, so we both listen to Spotify. Spotify is one of the places you can hear Sports Frenzy 2.0. I am not disparaging one of our platforms, one of our hosts, but their music service pissed me off! Every Friday, I look forward to my release radar, which is where I'm supposed to get the best new songs from bands that through their algorithm, through their selective process of what I've listened to in the past years.
And have liked and disliked.
Now, I told Dave that this week's, the first song on the list was a sped up version of Living Colour's Cult of Personality, which I find an affront to all great rock and roll, as it sounded like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Oh, God. That's a travesty.
That wasn't the worst, though. The week before was the worst. Hey, Kev, look at your release radar. There's a new song from Loverboy called Money. They had the Loverboy logo all plastered all over the screen when I turned it on my TV. Right? Through my Fire Stick. The Turn Me Loose Loverboy, Get Lucky Loverboy. Start playing it. Some god-awful rap. There's a rap hip-hop artist called Loverboy.
Oh!
And Spotify somehow got them mixed up. So even though they were showing the 80s band Loverboy logo, and even though, they said, oh, Kev listens to Loverboy, which I do, not this Loverboy.
Not Loverboy, not Loverboy.
I am not happy with Spotify over this. I think they're dumbasses. Get your algorithm straightened out and realize that this Loverboy isn't the Loverboy that I listen to.
You have to, don't just look at the names of the bands. Actually look at the genre included.
Absolutely. Agree completely. So, dumbass?
Dumbass computer algorithm.
All right. I'm trying to figure out, I'm looking at what I've got left as I'm trying to figure out how to sequence these to give myself the best chance of going 4-0. All right, let's go with this.
If you have to ask yourself that, you've already lost.
There's an art to this, Dave. There's an art to this. Martin Scorsese's new movie.
You lost me at Martin Scorsese.
Leo DiCaprio's in it.
You've lost me again.
It's called Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh, based on the nonfiction book about the murder taking place on the Indian reservation.
Interested in seeing it?
I was until you told me who's involved in the project.
Well, you want one other little tidbit that's going to turn you off and make this a
They
nominee for Dumbass of the Week?
hit me with it.
You know how long it is?
4 hours and 15 minutes.
Jesus, God, no. Jesus. Wow. No, but I think it's 3.5 hours.
Good God.
3 hours and 26 minutes. How can you expect anybody to sit in a movie theater and watch?
Are they having an intermission?
You know, when we were watching John Wick,
We could have used an intermission.
yeah, and that was 2:45. 3 hours and 30 minutes? And this is Scorsese. Typical Scorsese. He did The Irishman for Netflix.
Yeah.
And that was a long slog, too.
He's buying into his own legend and legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So,
It's a dumbass move to go with something that long.
I'm still alive. I think I got it now. That was the one I was worried about.
Yeah, that's too damn long.
Have I ever watched a movie that long? Seriously. I wonder how long. I'd have to look. I'm just talking out loud here, kids, because we got time. I wonder how long. I'd have to look in my movie collection. Apocalypse Now.
Read
Yeah,
the directors.
Yeah, the redo or whatever they called it. I wonder how long that was. That might be the longest. Was Schindler's List longer?
Let's see.
Dave's going to look up some of these run times. I'm trying to think of the longest movies that I've ever watched. I would say Schindler's List was long. I would say the director's cut, the redo of Apocalypse Now. Now, that one I will not ever say I regret. I love Apocalypse Now.
Oh,
one of the greatest movies ever made. Let's see, with the Godfather movies that long?
No, they weren't that long.
Okay. I wasn't even a big fan of those.
Schindler's List, 3 hours and 15 minutes.
So this is going to be 11 minutes longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't think of any longer movies. Endgame was 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But of course, that was phenomenal.
Apocalypse Now, 2 hours and 27 minutes.
But was that the regular cut?
That was the regular cut.
Because I remember Redo added a long scene that was not in the original cut. As we wait anticipating.
Yeah, they're not
popping
up with it.
Well, can you think of any other long movies?
Nothing longer than that.
Well, you said you never saw Gone with the Wind. Isn't that a long movie?
Hang on. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Chitty Bang Bang!
2 hours and 24 minutes.
That was that long?
Yeah, they had an intermission in it.
Chitty with Dick Van Dyke?
Yep.
In the flying car?
Written by Ian Fleming.
Yes, it was.
So that explains a lot in there.
Chitty Bang Bang was almost 2.5 hours long?
Yep.
Oh my God.
Gone with... Wait a minute. No, that's not the one. No. Come on.
What else? You guys can jump on the Facebook page over the weekend and drop us a line and let us know the longest movie that you've ever seen that you liked. Schindler's List was a great movie, but I could never watch it again.
No, that's a one. Gone with the Wind, 3 hours and 58 minutes.
There you go. So Martin Scorsese isn't as big of a dumbass as whoever put together the the film adaptation of Margaret Mitchell's novel.
There you go.
4 hours? Gone with the Wind is 4
Almost
hours long.
4 hours.
That had to have an intermission.
At least one.
I mean, they probably let you go home and take a nap halfway through. All right. We talked about Anheuser-Busch and their whole can, making the can for this trans influencer.
Yeah.
And we talked about the response with Kid Rock, and now we've seen some country artists. Brantley Gilbert, I believe, recently, viral video where somebody threw a can of Bud Light up to him, and he threw it down on the ground and said, "Hell no," and exploded. Well, of course, I think Anheuser-Busch realized the monumental mistake they made. But now, this is so blatant of a try to make good, quote unquote. They immediately, after about a week of this backlash, put out a brand new Clydesdale ad that was all pro-America.
Yeah.
With the flag flying as the Clydesdale goes.
Guess what? Too little, too late. You fucked up.
I really hope. I've heard the interviews with the ad executive. She sounds like a complete idiot.
Yep.
Trying to get away from the fratty image that Bud Light had. Oh, and he's drinking Bud Light right in front of me.
Bought before all this bullshit happened.
I
am
looking at Dave drinking a Bud Light right now.
Yep, it was bought weeks before this happened.
Don't spike that beer in my studio.
It could be considered beer in some circles. I'm not wasting it.
No, I'm with you. But I will say this.
It was a stupid ass idea.
I will say this. I'm not big into these kind of protests and stuff, but I will say this. If I go into a bar, like in the summer when we start going to our concerts and we go to a restaurant to grab some food before the show, and they ask me if I want a Bud Light, I'm going to say, no, I want a Coors Light. And if they tell me I can't have a Coors Light, I'm going to ask them for any. I will literally not drink the stuff.
I've got stuff that I bought beforehand that I'll wind up drinking on the weekends or while we do the show. When I go out, I try and get a local IPA, or I'm ordering a Yuengling.
Yuengling's good. I'm just looking at my beer right now to see if it's not Budweiser, but I can't remember if Natty is Anheuser-Busch or not. I'm trying to find. It is. I'm drinking Anheuser-Busch too. Although I'm not drinking Bud Light. And last time I checked, Natty Ice did not have a trans influencer. And
notice mine is still the typical blue. It's not the rainbow bullshit colors.
Well, and the thing is, they made that can in a very, very limited quantity, basically just for this idiot.
Yeah. Absolute stupidity.
Oh, by the way, I now heard. Now we're up to 14% of the population. So, that target demographic is increasing. So this is why the advertisers are going for it. Now we heard 1 to 4% last year. Now it's up to 14%.
Yeah. And how many of them are actually of drinking age?
Well, I don't know.
And how many of the
teachers in the States are letting.
How many of the under 21s are saying they are because it's the hip, cool thing?
Yeah. Yep.
Just throwing that out there.
It's okay. It's going to be the extinction of the species because everybody's going to change their parts and not want to have sex with the biological compatible person they're supposed to, And so there'll be nobody left, and then we'll all die. That's okay.
And you know
we
what?
won't be around for it. We won't be around for it, Dave.
And you know what? That's probably a good thing that everything gets decimated and blown up.
Yep.
Because we're on the path to hell right now.
And you know what'll happen? A couple billion years, a little tiny sprout will pop up through the, the ashes and the burned, scorched earth, and life will start anew. And then they'll fuck it up 2 billion years after that, and it'll just go right through it again.
Yep. Because humans are stupid.
Okay, so my 3 for 3?
Yes, you are.
All right, I'm pretty sure the last one I'm going to get. So there is a city, a fairly well-known city up in Canada. I believe it is pronounced, it's spelled like Regina, but I believe
it's Regina.
Right. The CEO of tourism for the city of Regina decided that it would be a cool marketing campaign to promote their city. That's
what she said.
And we're not kidding here, kids. This is legitimate.
Get some vagina in Regina.
Show us your Regina. Show us your Regina was the slogan.
Oh my God. I'm torn on this one.
Oh, really? I thought this one would be a slam dunk.
I kind of like it.
Well, a lot of people didn't, so this guy is under fire. Of course.
Oh, come on. You got to have a sense of humor for this.
You got to remember. I get that. But you got to remember who are the first people. The women are saying, you're victimizing women by doing this.
Show pictures.
You're being a predator.
Of what you're like about your city. Have some civic pride, people.
So, yeah, what?
No, that's a dumbass decision. That's in poor taste. It's something we would do, but for a city like that, it's in poor taste.
I was just thinking, we need to find out where one of the former presidents was born, and they could use "Show us your bush."
Show us your big bone lick. There's a Kentucky advertisement for you.
So you're going to take away my very last one?
No, it's a dumbass idea.
Okay. Good. So I'm still
going forward
flawless
with it, it's bad.
This week.
But I still kind of like it, though. It's a dumb decision, but I like it.
What a way to end the weekend edition. And kids,
obviously, if you're that drunk and woke up alone, nobody showed you their Regina.
Yeah, I was going to say, go on the Facebook page and show us your Regina. Oh, wait, no, you don't want to do that.
Because I don't think you're coming from Canada.
He's a conquistador, Dave Height.
He's the maestro, Kevin Crane.
Thanks again for checking in with us this week. We will, of course, see you next week. We mentioned Beavis and Butthead. We mentioned LA Guns. Not sure about movies again. We've got this streaming issue going on. Plus,
who the hell knows what's going to be there?
Yeah, maybe we'll have a story time about an old movie.
You never know.
We shall see. But until that time,
take 2 Advil and call yourself in the morning.
Just don't call yourself a Regina. They should make calling your Regina legal in all the states, not just Nevada. $5 for the first minute, 50 cents every.
I gotta go online and see if I can get one of those T-shirts.
Really?
Wear it to the next concert. Show me your Regina.
You think they printed up T-shirts?
Why not?
Oh my God. If they did, I did not see that. I did not see that in the story.
All right. We'll investigate and let you know.
All right, kids. Until next week, take care. We are peace out.